Welcome to This Explainer by Forge College. Today, I get to play the role of your chief engineer. So, grab your virtual hard hats because we're taking your final capstone build, verification, and delivery straight off the drawing board and right onto the assembly line. We've spent a ton of time designing, coding, testing, but today is the day we pull it all together into undeniable proof of your hard work. Let's get to it.
Okay, let's dive right in. We really have to ask, is your brilliant new Soulbound invention actually ready? Can it pass a rigorous final safety inspection without, completely falling apart? You've built this intricate on-chain identity system, which is awesome, but does it actually work in the wild? If a reviewer looks at your code, your transactions, your logs, can they instantly verify that you've achieved exactly what you set out to do? Well, that's exactly what we're going to lock down today.
So, here's the master schematic for our time together. We're going to finalize your master blueprint, define the quality assurance checklist, run the assembly line, document the final build, pass the inspector verification, and then wrap it all up with final delivery and next steps.
Starting with Part 1, finalizing your master blueprint and gathering those previous designs.
Let's look at the foundational pieces we've built up to this point. We started way back with our initial threat model, moved through the architecture, and just in our previous lesson, we covered how to document and present documentation and presentation deliverables. Now, today, we hit the physical capstone delivery. You've mapped your stakeholders, drawn out the flow diagrams, and defined those strict privacy constraints. Today, we take all of those beautifully documented plans, yes, including your mock listeners and staging checklists, and we unify them. Basically, your past deliverables are the vital inputs for today's final build.
Moving to Section 2, the Quality Assurance Checklist. This is where we define what done actually looks like.
Now, to make absolutely sure no faulty parts slip through our hands, you need to know the magic number on today's factory floor. That number is 3. To pass your inspection, you must record exactly 3 critical transactions on-chain. Why 3? Well, because we need undeniable, rock-solid proof that your contract deploys, successfully mints a soulbound identity, and, crucially, aggressively rejects an action it's supposed to block, like a banned transfer.
But those 3 transactions, they're really just the core of it. To hit the full milestone, your checklist is pretty strict. You've got to provide a complete code base with a crystal clear README, deployed contract addresses, and passing continuous integration test logs, showing us those unit and integration tests are totally green. You also need an operational checklist that includes your rollback plan, and of course, those 3 key verifiable demonstrations we just talked about: the deployment, the mint, and the failure. I know, it sounds like a lot, but honestly, if you've been following along, you already have most of these pieces sitting right there on your workbench.
All right, Section 3, running the assembly line and building the final product.
With our strict checklist in hand, it's time to fire up the machinery. Just like a physical factory, building this requires a very strict order. First, you prepare your repo and tag it as v1.0-capstone. Next, you configure a verifiable environment. Ideally, one a reviewer can actually replicate using dummy keys. Then you run your final deployment script and execute those demo flows, the mint and the rejected transfer. After that, you pull your CI test artifacts, and finally you draft up your use case report. Step by step, literally no skipping ahead.
To keep everything perfectly organized, you are going to use a deploy manifest. Think of this like a map, linking your deployment artifacts to exactly how an auditor is going to verify them. Notice the strict accountability here. If you claim a contract is deployed, the reviewer absolutely must be able to check the transaction hash. If you claim an event fired, there needs to be a log. It's all about removing the guesswork for whoever is reviewing your work.
Just to clarify, a deploy manifest is basically the official shipping receipt of your smart contract. It proves to the inspector exactly what was shipped and how it was built. It's stored in JSON format, usually right there in your artifacts folder, and it tells the complete story of your deployment, right down to what compiler versions and frameworks you used.
Which brings us to Section 4, documenting the final build with the use case report.
Moving along the belt, the crucial point here is connecting your cold, hard code to a real-world application. You do this in a short report that clearly explains your privacy choices and threat mitigations. Think back to our very first lessons on threat models. Your code doesn't exist in a vacuum, right? If you chose a specific soulbound semantic, why does it actually fit your use case? What privacy trade-offs did you have to make to get there? This 1 to 2 page report is your chance to show that you understand the why, not just the how.
Section 5, passing the inspector verification. This is where you have to start thinking like an auditor.
You've built the thing, but now comes the sweat-inducing part. Let's compare a failing build, which, let's be honest, looks like a digital dumpster fire riddled with missing logs, broken migration scripts, and zero rollback procedures, against a passing build. A reviewer should never need a treasure map and a magnifying glass to figure out if your code works. A passing build features beautifully annotated hashes and clean passing tests. You're basically handing them the evidence on a silver platter.
And to make that silver platter even shinier, you will want to provide a verification script, ideally an automated bash script. Oh, and here is a pro tip for you. Include an observer mode flag. This lets the reviewer easily reproduce your logs and confirm everything works with an exit code of 0. It's entirely read-only, so they don't have to sign transactions or guess at your state changes. It literally automates the trust.
Finally, Section 6, Final Delivery and Next Steps. Time to hand over the patent.
We've survived the inspection, which means it's time to package it all up. You've got to ensure your final submission package is meticulously organized. It absolutely must include your tagged repo, your test summaries, flow evidence JSON files showing those crucial 3 transactions, the deploy manifest JSON, your updated operational checklist with monitoring endpoints, and of course, your use case report. And hey, if you want to go the extra mile, including a quick 3 to 5 minute screencast demonstrating the issuance and the rejected flow can massively accelerate reviewer understanding.
As you continue exploring the wider learning programs we have, your next stop will be discovering how smart wallets can integrate with the identity system you literally just deployed. You'll learn all about composable custody and how user-friendly keys can perfectly complement the rigid, non-transferable nature of the Soulbound tokens you just mastered. It really is the perfect next piece of the Web3 puzzle.
So the big question, does your final Capstone patent hold up to scrutiny, and are you truly ready to submit it to the world? Well, if you followed the blueprints, checked your logs, and automated your verification, the answer is an enthusiastic yes. Don't forget to visit forge.college to learn more about this and other incredible Web3 topics. Happy building, and I will see you on the factory floor next time.